Well, pigs no longer fly because we're here at Once Upon a Mattress with the amazing Jay Rodgers.
Hi, honey. How are you?
Good. Jay, who are you playing? And tell us a little bit about your character.
I'm playing the wizard, which is pretty self-explanatory, but he really isn't really a wizard. He's masquerading as a wizard. He's an ex... I call him a vaudevillian who's, trying to make his way with the queen by, pretending to be a wizard. So, but he doesn't have a major plot point in the second act, which makes it all worthwhile.
Now, tell us a little bit about your involvement with this show and how it came about.
Well, I think I'm lucky enough to know some nice people. John is a good friend of mine for many years. We're both from Mississippi. Can you believe that? And I had some good word of mouth, and I got the job. And Jack called me and said, "Come on in." And I said, "I'm in. Anything you want." Unequivocal bull, yes.
You still do cabaret, and you do amazing shows now. What are you doing besides this, and where else can we see you?
Well, right now I've been enjoying directing a lot. So I'm going to actually work with John on his next performance at 54 Below. And, we just did Dirty Little Songs with all those Eric Michael, Gillette, and Sidney Meyer, and Carolyn Montgomery Ferrand. And as far as what the next show is, I have no idea, but it'll be there.
If you had your idea of the perfect next show, what would it be?
I think in my head I want to do a sort of a retrospective of my experience growing up in the South. So I sort of started a show years ago called Bubba's Baptists and Bells, which sort of incorporates everything I know about, Southernisms. So that may be my next project, unless my husband and I do another duet show.
The ingenue has more things than just sweetness that are happening with her, and we have
Jessica Fontana. And who are you playing? I'm playing Lady Larkin.
Now, how did you get this role, and what brings you to this place?
Jack is a friend, and we actually just hang out in the neighborhood at our diner on the Upper West Side. And I had done a concert for Jack last summer doing the Music Man concert, and so we worked together then, and then just asked if I wanted to do this, and I was thrilled and said yes, of course I would.
Now, what else have you done? What have we seen you in?
My last New York, I was in Cinderella on Broadway, where I played Cinderella twice a week, which was fun. And been around doing other things. Yeah, that was my last New York credit.
Now, if you had to choose the next perfect role, what would that be?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Whatever exciting project comes down the line. I don't have a specific one in mind.
And what would you like the audience to take away from your performance from this?
Well, I hope the audience just has a really great time. It's a really fun show with great music, and it's funny and sweet. And I did it as a freshman. I played Winnifred my freshman year of high school, so it's kind of fun to revisit it now as an adult in a different part.
One of the most interesting parts of Mattress is that its set is going to be drawn each performance, so nothing is going to be the same quite so much. And we have the remarkable Ken Fallin.
That's right.
Did you come up with this idea, or did they?
I did not. Jack Cummings called me on the phone, and he said, "Ken, I have something I want to ask you, but I can't ask you on the phone." And I thought, I did the role of Dauntless over 50 years ago in community theater. Did he hear about that? Is he going to ask me to do a... No. We met for breakfast, and he said, "I have this idea. We want the backdrop drawn. There's a machine, a video projector. As you're drawing, they will show your hand drawing the curtains, the moats, the castles, and that will add to the whole production." And I thought, that's insane. And then I thought about it, and I said, I got to do this. How often am I going to get an offer like this?
Well, I could understand, drawing it once and filming it, but drawing it per night? That's crazy.
I know, it's insanity. But I love the theater. And even though only my hand will be seen by the audience, I figure a hand today, an elbow tomorrow, and I'll eventually, like Lucille Ball, I'm always trying to get into show business.
Now, are you going to constantly improve upon what you've drawn, or are you...
So wouldn't that be nice? Always trying to improve. I'm sure that I'll be adding things, and they said that even if I make a mistake, I can crumple the paper and throw it out. The audience will see everything.
That would be hysterical, actually. Are you going to auction them off at the end for charity?
Thing to say. I don't know that anyone would want them, but that's a very nice thing. That's a good idea.
Your artwork hangs in New World stages, and it's one of my favorite parts about going there.
Thank you so much. You're very sweet. Thank you.
If If you had to choose a show that you could draw or a person that you could draw, what show haven't you done and what person haven't you done that you'd really like to do?
That I haven't drawn, I've drawn just about everything, but when I've started going to the theater, like Angela Lansbury and Mame and people like that, I wasn't drawing, but I've drawn just about everything for the past 10 years, and I'm very lucky because I love doing it. I love the theater. I love actors. It's such a wonderful life.
When you think the Transport Theater Company, you think this man, Jack Cummings. He has managed to take shows that have disappeared and brought them back. Jack, you are doing such an amazing thing with Transport. What makes you choose the shows that you choose?
Usually there's shows that, there are many ways to shows that interest me personally. But I tend to veer towards shows that have an underdog theme to them. Our mission is kind of like the American experience, which is kind of built upon an underdog experience. And so shows that haven't been seen in a while or are brand new, we do both revivals and new works. But this particular show just kind of came to me via John Epperson, and kind of a coincidence and a stroke of luck. And it was a chance to, bring back this musical that most people just see in high schools or community theaters. It's been a while since it's been in New York on a professional level. And it was really a chance for Jackie Hoffman to take the last bow, And John... No, ever. And John and I both were particularly very excited about that. John is very generous, and he just thinks the world of Jackie. He said, wouldn't this be an amazing thing to see Jackie Hoffman take center stage for once and have it be her show, So...
The idea of drawing the set, I just think is absolutely genius. What made you think of this?
We, the beginning of the show, there's a song sung by the minstrel, and he basically tells the story. And usually it's done in pantomime with actors behind him. We don't have those kind of resources. So in the concert, we did like a flip chart, and the drawings were via like the style of fractured fairy tales. So that was kind of our jumping off point. And so my set designer, Sandra Goldmark, said, what if we took that idea and we did it in back on a projection screen, but we actually saw the hand drawing it or finishing it or adding a touch depending on the scene and the transition. And so I said, that's a great idea. I think I have someone I can ask, but it's a real long shot because, he's a big deal. And but we had breakfast with Ken. He was floored. He's never done anything like this. And he said yes, and we were just so grateful. And so he's going to be there every night, an old school overhead projector in the back of the house with the audience doing it. So when you walk in, you'll be able to kind of see his station.
Now, what shows would you like to bring to the Transport?
Oh, well, we have one coming up that's in development. It's an uncut, one-person version of Eugene O'Neill's Strange Interlude, starring David Greenspan. And we have a musical coming up called The Blonde Streak, a new musical. So we're kind of, a little all over the place sometimes.
But are there any revivals of musicals that you're can't wait to do?
Oh, I would love to take a turn at Michael John LaCuisa's The Wild Party. Yeah, that would be on my list.
Mattress doesn't have the typical leads. As a matter of fact, the leads are kind of quirky, and we have playing the prince who gets the princess.
Hey, I'm Jason SweetTooth Williams. Thanks for having me.
Now, how does it feel to be playing a prince?
Well, it feels strange and new, but very exciting. And when Jackie Hoffman is your princess, anything goes. So it's been a lot of fun.
Now, where have we seen you, on Broadway or off Broadway?
I've worked actually with Transport Group before. I was in a production of theirs called Crossing Brooklyn some years ago. And I work a lot with a guy named Joe Iconis, who's a musical theater writer. So I've done his off-Broadway shows, Blood Song of Love and Rewrite and others, and kind of in the concert scene, the new musical theater concert scene as well.
Now, what would you like people to take away from the show?
I think the most exciting thing about this show is that because the sort of casting is quirky or unlikely, I think it's exciting to see two people that you wouldn't necessarily see in a role such as they are finding each other. I think it's a real cool message about being different and knowing that there are other people that are out there that are different, and there's someone for everybody.
Now, as Dauntless, can you say, come see the show?
Come see the show. My mama will love it.